Happy New Year, Cancerians. I'm going to have a look at the astrology for Cancer, and this will be relevant for Cancer Sun and Ascendant. And we're also going to do a tarot spread for 2023 to see what to expect for the year ahead. So looking at the astrology for Cancer, I'm looking at the outer planets because the inner planets, we're looking at the whole year, and so we need to look at the outer planets because they're going to be pretty much in the same sector all year. So Jupiter is sitting in your 10th sector. Now your 10th sector, Jupiter is all about expansion and growth, moving forward. It's a very fortunate planet, and it's the placement it's in is where it sort of creates good fortune for you, or expansion and growth. So Jupiter sitting in your 10th, that's your place of career and your direction. It's not necessarily your day-to-day work, but it's your bigger picture with regards to your direction and your focus for your future. And with Jupiter there, means that you've been in a space for Cancer where business or work or your direction, your goals have been actually going the way you want them to go. They've probably been in a very, very productive cycle actually with Jupiter there, as well as you've been able to see and make plans for the future with Jupiter there, to see ahead and to see, working towards where you really want to be, rather than living sort of day to day and wondering if you're ever going to get there. Jupiter's sort of showing you what's possible. Now, by May, the 17th of May, Jupiter moves out of your 10th and into your 11th house, and this is very this is more about friendships and connections, and social interactions and teamwork. So by May, you might find that with regards to where you're wanting to expand in that, may be more to do with your associates and your connections and working more in teams, working more with others. If you've been working more on your own or working from behind the scenes, or even working from home, you might find that you're going more out and about and socialising a lot more. It's going to be a very, very social year for Cancer, with the 11th house being activated by Jupiter in May. Saturn's been sitting in your 8th house, so that's been sitting in a place where you don't know quite what to do with that, with the 8th and the 8th. It's sort of just sitting there quietly. It means that it could be a time when you're really looking at what you don't need anymore, what you're letting go of. It's moving. It's been there for quite a while, and by the 8th of March, it's moving into your 9th placement. So I think this is going to give you a bit more of a serious look about, your own more at a personal growth, what you're wanting to learn, do, or new areas that you might want to expand on, but in a very sort of methodical and practical Saturnine way. So in other words, you might be thinking, maybe I want to learn something new, or maybe I'm wanting to do a bit more travel. Even with Saturn, you might go, actually, I'm going to have a break from doing travel, and I'm just going to be focusing on studies and learning. Uranus is really highlighted for the month of January because Uranus has been retrograde, and it's one of the last planets to move forward. Out of all the outer planets, they've all been sort of retrograde, and they've been slowly over the last couple of months getting out of retrograde and going forward. Now Uranus is the last to do that. Once Uranus goes forward, well then generally for everybody we've got a forward motion happening, and so there's not going to be many hold-ups or setbacks until we get into April, when we can move back into retrograde season again. But with Uranus being quite a theme for this month, because when it's sitting retrograde stationary, means it sits in that one position. It's quite highlighted, so it's going to be a time of where you're going to be connecting with friendships and that, but there could be like this restlessness around connections and around working situations with regards to teamwork, or if you volunteer within communities or things like that, there could be like this restless energy where you don't know quite where you fit, so to speak. You've had Pluto sitting in your 7th house. Now that's your house of relationships and marriage, and Pluto there is quite it can feel like a bit of sometimes a power struggle within partnerships or connections. Sometimes it's about it's finding it hard to get people on board, but what you may have found is that if you are married, that your marriage has been going through quite a transformation in a positive way, during this time Pluto's been sitting in there. Now, Pluto's been sitting in there for a few years. This is not different to last year or the year before with regards to Pluto in your 7th house. It will be moving out of your 7th house and into your 8th house for a short period of time, when it goes to 0 degrees Aquarius around between March and till June, and then it goes back into late degrees of Capricorn again, which puts back into your 7th house. Now, on the 10th of February, you've got Mercury is conjuncting Pluto, so you've got Mercury and Pluto both sitting there in your 7th house. So that, again, that's your house of relationship. So with regards to relationships for Cancer, this is quite a strong time to be impressing your opinions or ideas upon others. It's a time when we have great persuasive skills with Pluto, but sometimes it's like information that can feel quite powerful, but also quite transformative. And we could be making, talking about big changes for the future with this going on within the 7th house. But on the other side of it, within the 7th, it can mean that within relationship, because that is your relationship axis, that there's been either a power struggle on and getting the other person on board, or getting this to have the same understandings, or there could be a sort of an underlining sort of wanting to dominate through to communicating. Now that's not really Cancer's style, but it could be relative to partner, or it could just be feeling like, just let me talk, let me get out what I need to say, because Cancer, they need to express themselves. Sometimes they hold a lot back, and so if they're opening up, it's best to just to let that happen. Now, with Pluto there, like I said, it's transforming how you see relationships and how you see your marriage. And I just feel like this is, it's been there for quite a while. So you're really going through, as you come out of it, that's when you realise, well, we've really changed. We've really grown more together, or we've grown apart. And like I said, with Pluto there, it's sort of just a quiet underlining energy. It's nothing that's too obvious, but it does slowly sort of break down our understandings or our attitudes or our belief systems. You've got the Moon's node, which relates to associations and connections. Now that's sitting in your 11th house of friendships, so that's great, because in other words, this year is a great year for friendships and connections, making new connections, and getting involved in teamwork again is going to be really important. So again, by the middle of this year, or even in May, June, I think you're going to really feel like being out there more in the workplace and more involved with others around work, but also at a social level as well. So, another important date for this, because these are sitting in quite pivotal points of your sectors. So Mercury is in your 7th sector and Jupiter's in your 10th sector, and that's making a square on the 18th to the 24th of January. Now, normally Mercury doesn't make a square for that long, but Mercury at that particular time it's retrograde at the moment. It's about to go direct around the 17th and 18th of this month, and when it does that, it stations, it just sits still, it sort of stops moving and then starts to turn in the opposite direction. And so it's been going backwards. It's going to go stationary, and it'll be sitting for about a week, giving us a fantastic Mercury-Jupiter, which is great for negotiations. It's great for legal dealings, signing agreements, or even getting other people to agree. So again, around this time you might come up with some really good ideas that are going to be productive for the future, but you also might come up with some ideas around it's around how you can expand and grow through your career with this 10th area, like I was explaining at the beginning. Jupiter there, you can really see where you're going and what you're wanting, and if you sort of don't know what that is, you're going to get some really good ideas about that around the end of this month, or between 18th and 24th. The other really important combination that's going on for Cancer this year is we've got this Pluto node squaring most of the year. Now, Pluto node is the node is all about your connections and associations. It affects people on all levels, and Pluto is quite a powerful energy, creating transformational changes and new directions. And with that squaring, it's sort of when we're really, fated changes through connections can be really, really powerful. So what we've got going on in July is we've got Mercury square the node, square Pluto. So that's a T called a T square, and it's in your 1st, 10th, and 7th. Now these are power points in astrology. So Mercury through your mind is going to be projected out. You're going to be sort of out there in the environment, really stating clearly the changes that you're wanting to make for the future. And this is going to be shared with those you're close to. Could be family members, could be partners, and again, work colleagues. So I think there's going to be some important conversations. There's going to be some important litigations going on during that time that are really for productive growth and for change. There might be some circumstances that you feel that you've got to, that to do with others that you feel you've got to make changes with because of circumstances that are feeling almost out of control. But, you're with Mercury there in the 1st, you're going to sort it out real fast. So I don't see it as a problem. I actually think it's going to be a very positive combination going on here. And there's also some really nice Jupiter combinations going on with the node for you as well there when it connects up. So Jupiter node, where's that? Jupiter Pluto node, so that's in May, sorry. So really important connections happening around this is happening sort of all of May here. So like I said, this Pluto node's going on all year, and when Jupiter connects up in May, this is when you're going to go, right, this is the areas I need to expand on. These are the areas that are going to work for me. You're also going to find that you've got really good connections that are going to help you during this time when the right people are just going to be there for the changes that you're wanting to make. So, Cancer, let's do a spread for this year to see what comes up. I feel there's a lot more than what I've described. Like I said, because I'm only looking at the outer planets, and we can get more detail when I go into the monthly reports. But you really have some strong astrology going on. There's a lot going on for the cardinal this year, and there's a lot going on for the fixed sign. So the cardinal signs, Cancer, is a cardinal sign, Aries, and Libra and Capricorn, all the cardinals. And when planets move into that, this is action time. This is when ingenuity comes up. Let's create something. So there could even be decisions about new businesses, like I said, or purchasing property or signing of agreements. But whatever these legal things that could be coming up for you, I feel like they're relative to your relationship, they're relative to your marriage, and they're definitely relative to your career and your future direction. So what does 2023 hold for Cancer? What does the universe want Cancer to know about? So, it's going to be a year when you're going to get to really, I think with all this cardinal energy going on here, and with Jupiter sitting there in Aries in your 10th, it's like this is the time to create. This is the time to be the pioneering quality that you are, and to if you're not in business, it's a time when you might go, right, okay, this is what I'm creating, because it's about creating something a bit bigger for your future. But I feel like with this cut here that you've got, like this huge independence and determination to do things your way and to create your own things for the future. And also there seems to be a bit about your communicational skills as well, and utilising them in a positive way. So looks like from these cards here, Cancer's been, sort of hiding away here under their shell for a little bit, just been quite nice for them. We all like these times of isolation and times when we get a lot of peace and retreat time. But it's like you're coming out of this retreat time where you've been sort of more on your own, or more just in your own space, or learning or studying, or, sort of hiding away in some ways, but really like enjoying that space of just peace and quiet and on your own space, into a space of more of a sharing space. And this is what you're leaving behind, is this is the Hermit card. So it sort of feels like, there could be some people that have been working from home, and they're going to step out more into their environment and the workspace, but they're also going to be a lot of new energy for new ideas, new creative inspiration. There's also a new energy of love around you, but I feel like this can relate to heart chakra expanding, where it's like, this is what I want, and this is going to give me more control in my life, and this is what I'm going for. So, it's like with this expansion of heart, it's like wanting to create something that's really meaningful. And, Cancer is very good with, they're very organised, they're very good with and setting things up, and then, leaving it to the more fixed signs to get on and do the work. But it's not saying Cancers aren't hard workers, but they like to create the plans and the ideas. So I'm saying here's this new inspiration, new creative movement here. Also got very good news coming out, and again, this is sort of relative to communications, but it's also relative to paperwork. Again, I'm getting what I was talking about before, like litigations or something that's just like, yes, this means once we sign on the dotted line, this means we're really I'm already achieving something I'm very excited about, and it means it's going to be just work so much better for me, because I think Cancer's looking for a bit more stimulation. I think they're looking, if you've been, studying or learning, and it's like, okay, I know it all now I just want to get out and do it. Otherwise, it's been about getting out there and utilising your variety of skills here that you have, and maybe doing something a bit different, or having a lot more variety within what you have been doing. So where you've come from a very focused place with the Hermit, you're coming into a more of a place where you can spread yourself out a bit thinner, and reach out and have a bit more of a multitasking situation going on. For Cancer, there might be some good news to do with overseas, or news coming from overseas. Now, I don't know what that's about. Of course, I'm reading for quite hopefully a large group of Cancers here. So, yeah, we'll just leave it at that. Now, I'm liking the look of this, because, Cancers are it's a very soft sign. They don't always want to show that softness. They've got the hard shell, but if you took the shell off, there's just very vulnerable mush underneath in that crab. You can see why it needs a shell to protect, because it would feel very vulnerable without that shell. But they when they do open up, they're very loving and giving and caring and generous signs. It feels like what I'm seeing here with Cancer is that it's like a very much about your emotional connections. And I feel here that there's you just wanting to, like I said, you're getting out more in a social way, and it's like you're just wanting to be around those that you actually really do have feelings for, you really do feel and connect with. And that's I'd say that's probably not uncommon for Cancer, to want to feel those connections. There's also, for Cancer, there also seems to be opening up more at an emotional level, but also opening up more to their intuitive abilities, because they are very watery, they're very deep, and intuition runs through that sort of energy of the flows with water, like water, and it's like they can connect in and just get into that flow of their intuition. But it's sort of saying their intuition is going to be enhanced for Cancer. Work is going to be on your mind. I mean, they're very hard workers, Cancer. They've generally have a lot of ambitions. And here I can see, you're thinking about work and you're thinking about your future with that. And again, these are all the favourable things here going on in that 10th sector. But again, it's like, yes, this is where I want to be. And you're going to be able to go, okay, this is what I'm going to do for the next year or so. You can really be able to see the direction that you're moving in, but it seems to be about your work situation. Work looks absolutely great. It really looks like so much positive energy around this, and so much potential and positive speculation, but it really looks like warranted positive speculation here with this these cards going on here. So, you're going to be in a really good work mode, but you can see what you're wanting to achieve, and you can see where it's going to take you. Interesting. Got a bit of restlessness going on, or sudden unexpected situations that aren't so much directly connected to you. It's coming from outside of your environment, but connected to your close environment. So not your home, but the people around you. Could be family, could be working situations. But there's sort of an unexpected situation coming up here. Now this could be around siblings. Sort of feels like it's around siblings, and I'm not seeing anything in the third house here, so I don't know where that's coming from in the astrology, but it's showing me here in the cards that sort of you might find that you're helping out others with unexpected sort of dramas that happen. And now I've got siblings, family, could be connected to partner, could be connected to you, as in siblings or family. But there's just like this unexpected drama. But I feel like you're the person here who comes in and sorts it out. Now I just want to look at that astrology again, because I think this is going to happen, or going to be quite what I'm picking up again is around that month of July, so possibly around birthday. So, at a spiritual level, Cancer is going through a sort of an upliftment again within the intuition. And so you're going to be wondering, why am I seeing these things or sensing these things in a stronger way than normal just before it happens? It's like, you're really getting really strong messages coming through. Now, this is sort of preparing you for the year ahead of that, where I feel like you're going to be working much stronger with your intuition in 2024. I mean, you will be in this year as well, but it looks like you're firstly shifting, wanting changes. You're firstly wanting harmony and peace. And so where there's this restlessness, or where there's been this stressful situations, you really just are wanting to come in and create a more peaceful situation, and but not only in the environment, you're also wanting to do this for yourself. So it feels like there's an offer here. It could be you offering this to others, because again, around social connections, there seems to be a lot of activity, and there seems to be a lot of offers and opportunities going on for big changes relative to teamwork. But there also seems to be at an inner level shifting your energy to a sort of a higher vibration, to things that make you feel good. Now this could be music, this could be art, this could be working with your creativity, but it's also working with your mind, with the brilliant mind of ideas, your ingenuitive mind. So it's sort of like the more you connect in, because I feel like that time you've had to yourself has created a lot more inner peace for you. But it's like you're not wanting anything to limit you, or any limitations to be placed on you. And I think with Uranus, interestingly enough, sitting in the 11th house, it's a bit of a mixed bag with that place of friendships, because you've had positive things, and I think you've got some really obvious positive connections, but then you've got situations here where it's almost like actually these are I'm feeling sort of a bit tied up here. I'm feeling like I can't expand out, or I can't connect up into these friendships. So I feel like you're just going to be making some changes so that you actually can be doing the things that you feel connected to and that you really love. It's a very important time for you to honour your own inner needs, and for Cancer, it's important for them to recognise emotionally what's going on for them. Even more important to communicate that. But if you can't communicate that with others, or you can't work it out, try writing it down, or try, talking to yourself, like talking to you. I do it all the time, I'm a crazy lady. I talk to myself. I say, why is this? And then my higher self says, because of. And I go, oh yeah, okay. And then, but how come? And then it's just immediate. So, I can do that. I live on a farm all by myself, like with family, of course, but, they're not here a lot of the time, and I've just got animals. So, I can talk to myself all day long if I like. Now, my point with that is, identify what's going on with you, because I feel like you can get frustrated with certain people that you feel are impinging on your sense of peace, and tranquility. And even if you go, okay, I want to have a different lifestyle. Because there's a lot of energy within this heart expanding of what is for you, what do you really want. You might want to live in a more peaceful place. You might decide the country is more you, and then it's like you might have this resistance coming from others, family or friends or partner, and it feels like you're not going to let anything hold you back. The other thing though I see around Cancer is that where other people are going through some difficulties, and to see you helping them out, and to see that you are very good at offering a helping hand and being there for those in need. So that's going to be a big part of your year actually, where you feel more useful in a way within your community or within your connections around your associates, and you feel that you can actually do more, because there's no real problems here, but it's like whatever that issue is here at the top, that's been probably going on for quite a while. Okay, so this is resolved. This is clearing this out the way and creating the right situations. So I'm just going to lay out some more here and see what else I can see for this year. New learning. So you're quite, you might be an expert in your field, but it feels like you're actually going to go through a stage of wanting to learn something completely different, and learning and experiencing a lot more. But this may even be at quite a personal level, where you're just teaching yourself, whether you're picking up books, or whether you're just a lot of things are starting to make sense, and you're just doing your own research. But it does look like for some cancers there has been some studies been going on, and that they are getting ready to really step out and to put this into practical use. So this is a time for Cancer, like I said, to explore talents and abilities, new talents, do things differently, as in doing things you haven't done before. But there's a lot of because cancers can be quite focused and organised, and sometimes there might be other areas that they're not had the opportunity to really look at. And what I mean by organised and focused, like they generally don't just float through life. They generally decide what they want to do for career. They sort of set themselves up. They can sort of see, okay, well, this is where I start and this is where I finish. But in the meantime, there might be some things that because they didn't just cruise through life, there might be some things that they go, actually, I never explored this area, or there's something here that I always wanted to do, because it looks like there's going to be new ideas coming in here of things that you'd really like to do. And also, again, I just keep getting a helping hand from others, but again, it's Cancer's nature to always be helping others as well. And it does look like it's coming from you, Cancer, where you're giving to others, but I think it's time for you to receive some things as well. And this is a fantastic year for you financially, for work and career. You're sort of coming to the end of a cycle with career, and you're going to be, moving forward. So you might go, okay, well, maybe I'm finished with this career, because you're coming to the end of that cycle. Maybe I can sit it over here, and it could be passive income, or maybe I can sell, and I'm going to go into this whole new area. So it's a great time for expansion. There's definitely thoughts about finances and about what you're going to be doing with money. There even seems to be some situations here where you could be changing property, and if you decide to do that, it looks like you could be going to a different area, somewhere you've never been. It's like you're wanting to explore new areas and do new things. And you may even, go, I want to have a second home, or I want to live in a whole different place. But it also looks like, where do I want to place myself is going to be something that you'll be looking at. Where's the best place for me to be this year relative to home? So lots of very positive changes. Like I said, there's going to be changes, but these changes are going to be involving not just you, they're going to be involving family, they're going to be involving course partner, and it's actually a great time for partner looking at this. With Pluto sitting there, sometimes it can be a bit of a struggle, but it does look like it's a really good time for marriage. It's also a good time to be connecting up for new relationships. You've got the Ace of Cups sitting over you, you've got this new heart expansion. If you're on your own, it's a perfect time to be creating a relationship, because everything is looking really secure and solid and forward moving for the future. And anything you've been doing for quite a while, you're going to start to really reap the rewards for it. You can sit back and relax, and money is not an issue here, but also, you know, extending into new things. So it might be that you're thinking, okay, well, I need to free myself up here. So who do I need to put into place to either work for me here, or to who can look after this while we're doing that? So there's going to be like lots of offers going on from you, but there's also some fantastic offers coming to you through others. And like I say, sometimes it's not just what you know, it's who you know. And like I said, there's really fortunate connections going on here for Cancer. So it looks like a very productive, positive year where you can really enjoy family and friends and expand to a whole new level with a lot of new exciting things. But what I really like about this, because I love to see people exploring their souls, exploring who they really are, their other gifts, their other things. It's like we identify with our career or what we've done for so long, yet we tend to neglect other areas and never really recognise all these other latent talents that we have. And it's like you're getting that opportunity just to explore some new things there, that you find you're gifted in more than one way, in many ways. And that's always exciting, because it's like falling in love. It's like feeling passionate whenever we're connected to our soul. Anything like a soulmate, a soul friendship, we feel more connected to our heart and to who we truly are. And this is the same thing as when we connect up to what's within our soul, or where our gifts lie. So a very special year for Cancer. I think you're going to be very happy with the changes that are going on, and it looks like you're ready for them. And you've had a bit of an isolating time, and now it's time to get back out there in the world and show them what you got. Bye.